For this front panel, let's go ahead and take a look at this. We select it and hit the division key. This seems kind of oddly shaped. Let's see how Smart UV Project does with this. Let's hit U and Smart UV Project. That's not too bad. Actually, let's make sure the scale is applied. Control A and apply the scale. Then let's go back and try it again. Here we go. Yeah, so now those are a little more proportional. Let's clean this up with Control T, triangulate those faces. And yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and go with that. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot better than that if we do it ourselves. So let's now hit the division key and let's work on these here. These also are like the front windows. We're going to want them all in one, but for now, let's work without the mirror modifier. In a similar way that we did before, let me apply the scale here. Let's work on the glass block first. So I'll hit the L key to select that, press Shift H. So in the same way we did before, let's mark a seam back here like we did on the other glass blocks. And then let's just mark the corners so that the corners will split out like this. And then let's take a look at it. Let's hit A, U, and this time let's use the Unwrap tool. And that looks good, but it looks like I missed selecting a corner here. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, right here. Let's try that. And let's try it again. U and Unwrap. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. How about if we try angle-based, conformal, no change, so that's fine. Let's press Alt-H and bring the brackets back. I'll select this and this with the L key. Let's press Shift-H to isolate that. And you know what? Let's use Smart UV Project here. That's just too much to work on. There we go. We've got some pulling here. I'm not sure what it's, there we go. If I just drag it down to like 80 degrees, that cleans that up quite a bit. All right. So let's press Alt-H. Let's tab back into object mode. We could add that material onto here and check that out. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's go ahead and mirror it over. Add modifier mirror, and we'll apply the mirror here. There we go. All right, so let's hit the division key. We can see what we've done already by the checker pattern. Now, I haven't applied the material to all of these pieces that we've UV mapped, so we could select those, and we've UV mapped this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So we could select all of these. Oh, we've UV mapped this. And then to apply the checker material to all of these, all we have to do is at the end of all this selecting, we can shift and click one of the pieces that does have the material on it, like the cab. And then what we can do is press Control L, and that brings up the Make Links menu, and we can link the material of the last one we selected to all the other ones that we selected. So let's click Material, and there we go. Oh, it looks like I didn't select this one. Let's go ahead and add the material to that. There we go. So you can kind of see what you've done as you're going through the process here. There we go. What else? Oh, we've also done this here. There we go. All right. So let's work on the machine gun. Actually, before we work on the machine gun, let's do this one here. Let's go ahead and get this done. Let's hit the division key and go back to solid mode. Let's press Control A and apply the scale. And then, since we don't have a face here, we should just be able to select these edges here, mark seams, and hit U and Unwrap. There we go. We can try angle base, but no different, so I think we're good. Let's hit the division key. Okay, now let's go, well, we've done this, we've done that. Let's take a look at the machine gun. So I'm going to spin around and let's try and figure out what all we should isolate. So let's select that, and we've got those selected. How about this and this? Tumble around, and maybe there's a couple of bolts over here. There we go. Looks like we've got the ammo case here. All right, I think we've got just about everything. Let's give it a try. Let's hit the division key and isolate that. Did we lose anything? Did we bring everything along here? Yeah, I think we did. Let's now take all of this. Let's just select everything and let's just join it all together, all in one object. Let's press Control J. Oh, and look what happened. Looks like I had a couple of modifiers on here that we need to deal with. It looks like there's a mirror modifier here. We're going to need to apply that. So let's hit apply and let's go check and make sure I don't have any internal faces here. And it doesn't look like I do. That's good. Okay. We could, however, go ahead and get rid of this edge. X dissolve edges. We don't need that. Okay. What else? Is there another modifier on here somewhere? No, I think that's it. Let's select everything, press Control J. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now everything is all one object here, and I kind of wanted that so that we can select an object like this or a part, and we can isolate it further. Because we've hit the division key to isolate all of these, now I want to isolate it even further by pressing Shift-H here. So now I can just work on that. So for this, let's maybe add an edge loop right up here, right in there to kind of split the handle out, right in here. Let's do that. Let's go do that on the other side as well. Here. And right down here. Oop, Alt-click, mark seam. Okay, there we go. Now, in addition, I want to add seams here at the back. So if I zoom right into here, I think, yeah, if I select that edge right there, just below the seam that's existing there, and then Control-click here to extend that down, and then Control-click here, I want to mark a seam there. And over here as well, I want to say mark that edge right there, Control-click to extend it on down, and then Control-click to extend that down to there. Let's mark that seam. And also, let's hit Alt-click here, Alt-Shift-click here, and let's get this edge all the way around on the top. And maybe let's break it out on the bottom as well. Let's do that. Right here. All right, let's mark these seams. And we'll do the same thing down here. And mark these seams. I think that's about what we want. Oh, let's get this here. I didn't get this. Let's see how this works. Let's make sure that that the scale is applied to everything. Just tab back into object mode and apply that scale. Then I'll hit the A key, U, and unwrap. And it's not bad, actually. Let's go to conformal. It's a little better. Yeah, actually, I think that'll work. Let me add this real quick to this. Yeah, we've got a little bit of warping back here, but I think that'll be just fine. These are going to be kind of a wood grip handle, I think, when we begin to texture. So, okay, let's go ahead and go with that. I'll press Alt-H and bring everything back, and let's see what else we can do. Let's work on this one right here. I'll select these two pieces with the L key, press Shift-H, and let's go in here and see what we can do. We don't have any faces on the bottom. That's good. We're probably going to want to split these out, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and mark these and the edges on the bottom of these, like this and this and this and this. All right. So those should split out. We could also break out the corners on this piece, just like we've done before, like this. Now let's take a look at that. Let's grab that, hit U and unwrap. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We've got a little bit of pulling here, but I don't know that that's a terrible thing. I think that'll be okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at it here. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. That's just, oh, that's just where we've pulled it out or split it out here at the corners. I think that's fine. Let's take a look at this. We've got some stretched squares here. That's not quite what we want. So let's select this. Let's press Shift H to even select that even further. Let's select this seam. And let's Alt-click this. And then deselect one of these edges. And so that'll stay connected to the cylinder and fold out at that point, at that edge. So let's give that a try. Let's hit U and unwrap. So you can see how it stayed connected and just folded out at that edge. That looks fine. Alt-H. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to hit L and L for this. Let's press Shift-H and isolate it again. Let's hit U and unwrap. Yeah, I think that'll be just fine. All right. Let's go back, Alt-H, and we'll begin working on the next piece in the next video.